Hola, church family! Our student ministry got the opportunity to go to El Faro, Guatemala.
So we're here to tell you about it.
My name is Corey Burke. Was part of the El Faro missions trip. I can say I initially signed up for the trip because my two children, Jameson and Cassidy, wanted to go, and I wanted to be there. I think probably first to protect them, but second to watch them have this experience. And I think God quickly made it clear to me that that's not why I was there, that they were fine on their own. It was amazing to watch them thrive and to share God's love. And then for me to be able to experience that part of the world and see that God is truly everywhere.
Hi, I'm Cassidy Burke, and I went on the El Faro missions trip this year. And my favorite part about this trip was definitely visiting the local children's hospital, because it was very sad to see a lot of the kids there. But most of my experience there, almost every kid's bed that we visited, they were going home that day. So it was so amazing to just celebrate with them, be able to praise the Lord that they were all better and could go home.
My name is Ian Fogg. I was part of the Guatemala trip this summer. So there was a wide variety of ministry days and things that we did when we were in Guatemala. I actually really liked going to visit the Children's Hospital. It was neat to see the building projects that El Faro had taken part in. It was really great to be able to meet some of the moms that were getting care for their kids, hear a little bit about their stories, and spend some time praying with them.
Hi church family, I'm Jake Hale and I got to go on the El Faro missions trip. My favorite missions trip project was building the playgrounds, just because just seeing how happy the kids were and how thankful they were for us coming there and doing that for them.
It was an absolutely incredible experience. Another piece of our mission there, we were able to build playgrounds, and just to be able to watch the children when the playgrounds were done and they spent 45 minutes going up and down the slide and the swings, and we take for granted what we have here and how much joy that just that simple thing, one slide, 3 swings, brought to those children in Guatemala.
And also this trip just made me so thankful for just the little things in life, like a paved road. The roads were crazy bumpy there. Toilet paper and being able to flush the toilet. It's weird, but and just every little thing here, clean water. It just makes you so grateful that God has blessed us with being able to live somewhere where we have those things. So yeah.
I'm Jake and I was on the Guatemala missions trip. I feel like I really had a chance to use my strengths, because on the way back from one of our missions we got a flat tire and I was able to help out and put on the spare for them and get us all the way back to camp. My biggest takeaway is just how grateful everyone there is for like everything and how much I just take for granted.
I'd say one of the things God taught me was I feel like I just got really humbled during the trip. Like, it was very humbling just to see how lucky I am and how I live, and just to appreciate the little things that I have in life.
Hello, my name is Anna Lavasti. If I could take away just one thing from this trip, I think it would be a lesson in hospitality and kindness. Most people in our community and country often label politeness as kindness, but what I experienced there really highlighted the fact that being kind and being polite are two very different things. Here you may pass someone by and just nod curtly, maybe a brief smile. You would do so out of courtesy, which most often is rooted in a fear of being seen in a negative light. You would do so to be polite. But over in Guatemala, you would go into town and you'd be greeted, hugged, and invited inside their homes. Homes very different from our own. Even still, they'd pull out chairs and offer food and drink. For us, a group of complete strangers.
So one of the things that stuck out on the trip was just the warmth and the hospitality of the people that we interacted with. Going out in the villages, they were so eager to welcome us into their homes, and even share things like Coca-Cola with us. One of the shops we visited, there was a little boy who just wanted to give us all a cold drink, which was really sweet. But you could feel the family of Christ just caring for each other, which was really neat.
My favorite memory from the trip was definitely when we just went to soccer ministry, and one of the girls that we kind of met before, she was her name's Mai, she was going to, when we were building the playhouses and stuff, and we brought food to her earlier that day. She ran over to me and gave me a hug and welcomed me, and she was like, "Oh, come play, and I don't know, I just feel like that'll always be in my heart, and I'll always pray for her and her family.
So every night after we finished our day, our Valley Chapel group would meet together, and we would kind of just have a debrief session. So Pastor Matt would open us in prayer, and then we would sing a couple songs. Mr. Fogg played his guitar, and it was just we were really in the moment, just worshiping our God, and that was really, really impactful.
Hi, I'm Kristen Kale. I went on the trip with my two teenage children, Jason and Juliana. I would definitely encourage anybody, especially if you have teenagers, to do a trip like this. It was an unbelievable blessing for me as a mom to go with my two kids and just see them give, and there was no complaining. And I'm not just talking about my two kids, all of our teens that went.
Hello, my name is Vonda. 8 years ago, Valley Chapel worked with Faro to renovate the Guatemala National Children's Hospital. Outside the hospital, the mothers of the children in intensive care sat on the curb, waiting in the heat and humidity to be able to visit their children. Faro took notice of this and created a women's shelter within the hospital grounds, an air-conditioned space for these mothers to rest and recover between visits with their precious little ones. The shelter is staffed by Faro, and prayer is abundantly shared. We visited the shelter and met one beautiful young mother, Andrea, who requested prayer for her tiny infant. She tearfully shared that her child was born very premature and in critical condition. Andrea not only asked for healing, but faithfully asked that God's will be done. This intentionality seemed effortless in the lives of those serving in Faro. However, I found myself thinking of the many chances to share Christ's love that I let slip by. One opportunity was at the Children's Hospital, where I was allowed to visit the intensive care unit. Gowned and gloved, I walked from one tiny intubated baby to another. My heart hurt at how sick these little ones were, but also marveled at how much the staff was able to do for them. When I was getting ready to leave the unit, a nurse approached me with a translated message on his phone simply stating, "Are you going to pray for these babies?" I was humbled that I was so busy looking at the babies through a medical lens that I missed the opportunity to see them through a spiritual one. It was later that I met Andrea and realized that her child was the smallest of all the infants I saw that day. Ephesians 5:15 and 16 says, "Be very careful how you live, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of every opportunity." I pray that I may return to El Faro one more time, but until then, I pray that God opens my eyes to opportunities to glorify Him and ask Him to give me the wisdom and the boldness to act upon them.